Hello there. Welcome back to Waking and Changing. Today I just wanna talk about cost of living. Before I dive right into it, I want to give a little bit about my background, a small portion of my life of how I lived, regarding to spending and money and things. So. I was born in a small town in China and raised by my grandparents who never went to school for one day in their entire lifetime. So my my grandpa pretty much made money from by collecting trash. Yes, the quite literal trash, the trash that you would throw away. Um, he would carry he would carry two big bags and just go out every day, walk around the entire town. It would take it's a small place, but it would still take him all day to do so. He would collect the bottles and the electrical wires, like glass bottles, plastic bottles, and especially the aluminum ones. They worth much more money. Um, so he would fill them up and he'll fill the bags up and then bring them home. And me and my grandparents, we would separate them into different categories first, and then we would crush the plastic bottles and aluminum cans with our feet, and then place them in the separate bags and just sell them that way. They work differently. And for the electrical wires, we would use knives to carve the rubber sleevings off, so we can sell the actual the metal wires inside. Um, that was how we lived for about 12 years or so. Um, well, it's much more than that, but this is in terms of money, this is the gist of it. Um, yes, we lived very cheap, very, very cheap lifestyle, but it was happy. It was happy for the most, I can say. Uh, 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 and we tried to save everything that we could have. I never really complained because I understood the struggle of life very well from all those experiences. And well, who would have thought um, that kind of understanding of struggle in life, the habit of spending less, and um, the habit of saving that I developed back then from the lifestyle have saved me in the long run today. So I immigrated here back in 2007, been here nearly almost 20 years now, and um, didn't really eat out or do much at all actually, because, well, obviously, money, right? Always is. Mainly ate at home, just home cooked dish, nothing special, very, very cheap stuff. However, I do remember there were two things that I bought that I spent money on, and one was, at the time I was like 14, 15 years old. Yeah, very I was a teenager. One was a Jumbo Juice. The second one was Jack in the Box burger. So uh, I joined in high school. I joined the cross country field. I joined cross country and track and field. During this, there was a summer weekend. The coach got all of us together to, as usual, training for the upcoming season for competitions, of course. And we gathered together at a small plaza at that plaza there was a Jumbo Juice store. We run, did our whatever we had to do, and then came back. At the end, we all bought Jumbo Juice, sat down, drank, talk, and yeah, I just had a good time. Call it a day. At the time, I remember clearly. I bought a mango smoothie. Well, which is what I always do whenever I go to those places, even though I don't go there often. Mango is my favorite. So it was about $4 at the time, and this was in back in 2008. Now, last year, back in 2025, I bought the same thing. This time I paid attention. It was called the Mango A Go Go, I believe, in the same city, and it cost me $11, which was almost triple what it used to be. I mean, yeah, I get it. I get it. It's 20 years later. It's many years later. It's gonna be different, but it's just a smoothie. It's just a smoothie. I can't even imagine what other things have, changed into in terms of prices. It's, yeah, it's quite ridiculous in my opinion. But, well, and the burger, the Jack in the Box burger at the time was $2. Well, I don't eat the Jack in the Box anymore, so I don't know what's the cost now. But I would imagine $2 are probably the cost of that wrapper. um, just in case you wonder where this was in California, in a small city too, not like in a big city like San Francisco or anything. That was the price in a small city. So now I don't live in I'm not in California anymore. I moved to Iowa, and after I moved here in the winter, and I realized that the winter over here is a little bit more harsh than California. So the winter clothes that I brought with me when I first came here were not even warm enough, not even close to be warm enough for me. So I found out that they were made of a polyester. Maybe that was the reason why. Um, so I had to get rid of them and buy some winter clothes online. Um, so I bought an alpaca jacket, which was really nice and also very warm. Well, as you can see, I'm a small guy. I wear medium clothes on everything, and uh, but I bought this jacket large because I was thinking that, well, it's a winter jacket, so maybe I could wear something inside as well. So maybe it should be a little bit bigger than my usual size. And also another reason is that when I was reading it, the dimensions of it on the website, is I remember he said that it was like about an inch or an inch and a half larger than the medium size. So I'm like, it's not that big of a difference. So I just bought a large one. But after I got it, I realized that, oh, crap, this is actually much bigger than what I thought it would be, and I couldn't really wear it, even with some clothes inside as well. So I had to return it. Contact the seller and everything. They sent me an email back saying that I need to ship back using UPS, not USPS. They said UPS. So I went to the UPS store and provided them with the shipping address where it needs to be returned to and everything. And of course, it's in California. Why wouldn't it be, right? Ironically. And um, he did what he had to do on the system, the cashier. And then after he finished, he looked at me. He's like, $46 and some change. And I was just like, what? I just stood there shocked. I was looking at him, and I start explaining to him. I'm like, look, like it's just the jacket. It's very light and everything. It's nothing. Actually, I have the jacket right here. Look, so this is the jacket. It's very thin, nothing big, very light, but it's really warm. So I told him all that. I explained to him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, it's not just about the weight of the jacket, but also about the size of the box and everything." And then he was like, "If you want insurance, it's gonna be a little bit more." I think it was about $5 or $6 more just on the insurance. So I was just standing there staring at the box and asking, and I was just shaking my head in disbelief, you know. I was standing there for like 30 seconds or so. Um, yeah, I was the only one there, and I just couldn't help. I look at him and I start laughing, and um, I was laughing at so many things. I wasn't laughing at him, you know. I was just laughing at the situation, laughing at how things are, you know, at that the 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 fact of how how much things cost, how a cost of living is in general, the irony of working, where life is eventually going to lead to with all these prices, and you know, all those different kind of ideas crossed my mind in that short period of time. And he saw me laughing, but or he know that I wasn't laughing at him or anything. You know, he knows what was going on, obviously. So he said, "Yeah, I know. Um, everything's become a very expensive," and he was trying to, you know, just make me feel better, of course. So I just looked up at him, and I was like, um, I looked straight at him. I was like, uh, "Do you make $46 an hour?" And I remember this very clearly. He was like, "Oh, hell no." I was like, "So do I. So do I." So yeah, of course I didn't go with that price because it's just too much, you know, just too much. It's not that I couldn't afford it. That's not the, you know, it's not that I couldn't afford it, but it's just not right to do so. It's just not right. He was a nice guy overall. He gave me a free box, a free card box, um, and because, you know, it was the box he gave me was a little smaller than the one that I brought. Apparently, that determines the price. That was a price determined as well. So I just took the box that he gave me and then left. Um, After that, I just went home. The USPS closed early that day, so I just went home. And for the rest of the day, I couldn't I couldn't settle on this idea. I just couldn't get my mind off of it. It's I kept thinking about it for, yeah, literally the rest of the day and throughout the night and everything. Um, and eventually it led me to thinking about, you know, it led me to a whole new approach on this whole situation. Um, well, you see, okay, I'm gonna be straightforward. I make nearly 39 an hour for my at my regular job, but as you know, making and spending are not the same. They're not the same number. After all the taxes we have to pay, I might get $26 an hour for myself. So that means I have to bust my ass for 2 hours at my regular job, doing all the hard labor while carrying all the responsibilities as a nurse. Yes, as a nurse, that's what I am. Just so I can ship an item within the country, within the country, um, and it's literally less than half a pound. So I was like, so you're telling me that I went to school 4 to 5 damn years of my life, studied hard every day, spent, holy crap, ooh, easily over 200K to become a nurse. But I can't even compare to a UPS delivery guy's salary who probably never had to go to school for one day for his job. Um, I know it's going to be more than that. I know this money goes to a few places, but that's the idea of it, though. So if something happens to my patient or died on my watch, for God's sakes, I'm not hoping that happen. Of course, I'm not hoping that happen. But just saying, I would be questioned. I would be interrogated like a terrorist or something, honestly. But on the contrary, if they lost something on a delivery, it's nowhere near that serious, nowhere near that bad. If shipping an item costs this much, what about other things? You know, I just start thinking all kinds of stuff. That was the moment I was like, holy shit, you know, this country is totally out of whack right now. What is the point of, you know, doing things? What is the point of being a citizen? It feels like, it doesn't feel like living anymore. It just feel like just surviving. Just surviving, that's it. How are others living? How are others living? I make well above, you see, I mean, I already told you the number, and I think I make well above minimum wage here. Like $8 an hour or something, I believe. For those people, are they supposed to just use half a day's pay just to ship something? I don't know. That doesn't sound right. That is pretty ridiculous to me. You see, aside from the story about my the spending habits I have already built based on my past or early life experience, another reason I have been able to save some money is because I don't go out. I I don't do anything. And when I say I don't do anything, I literally mean I don't do anything. Because for one, the country is weird about making friends, and I'm not interested in fake friends, fake people, superficial shit, all that together. Um, I find it difficult to make friends here in America. And for two, I don't date. I don't date at all because I can't afford to. And I am an Asian man living in the US, the worst dating market for me in the whole wide world. Just not worth any investment there. Well, anyways, that's another topic. I might talk about that in a different video or something. But the point is, I don't go out. I have no kids. I have no girlfriend, no wife, not supporting anybody. I'm just feeling okay with the money I make for myself. I really question how people are living right now, and what are they eating? Ever since that day, I start to notice the price much more than before on everything I buy. And I don't even buy much, only the essentials. Rent, basic necessities like, well, obviously food, drink. Well, I only drink water, so I buy water. I buy osmosis water, which costs me like $3.50 for 10 gallons, and I use that for like 2 weeks or so. So most of my money goes to mainly just rent and food. Even so, I started to restrict my, or at least I'm trying to restrict my spendings more than before. And it makes me wonder, like, how are people actually afford things if I'm supporting myself only and I feel a little bit suffocated? Like I said, I am able to save some because I'm under the right situations and the right conditions as well. But 99% of the people don't live the same as I do. So I see people going out, drinking, dining. I see people are still dating. I see people are shopping. I see people, as usual, buying random useless things that they don't even need, but still buying them. I see people still going out and doing things. So how? How? And especially the families. Like, again, I don't have kids, no wife. I don't even, heck, I don't even have a life in the US. But how are the families getting by? It seems like a family would need, I don't know, over 200K salary pre-tax for a whole year for I don't maybe like a family 3 or 4. Even that is still a struggle, I would say. I mean, depends where you live, but you get my point. For the most part, like what do y'all make? Where you live? What do y'all make? What do you spend? How you spend? What are you eating? And what do you guys do for fun? Like, do you guys even do anything? Do you guys even go out? How often? You know? I'm just very, very curious. So overall, my biggest concern is how people going to afford anything in another 5 years, 10 years, another 20 years. Can you spend $20 on a smoothie? Like, I don't know. Is it possible to get that high? I mean, yes, I get it. Wages going up along with inflation and everything, but the truth is, the increase on wage is nothing. It's equivalent to nothing compared to, all the price increases on all the other things that we need, all the basic necessities. Like, I understand that this idea it's been an issue, has been an issue for many years already, and but all these years, people still living, things, people still alive, getting by here and there. But I just feel like it's getting worse though. I feel like it can't continue. There has to be a stopping point. There has to be a breaking point, and that's what I'm afraid of. And when that happens, what's gonna happen next? Yeah, it's kind of scary to think actually. There are there are a few things I do before I buy something, and then maybe this will help you, um, like help you on your adjustment on spending. So this is what I do. First, I ask myself multiple times before I buy something. I ask myself if I really need whatever I want to buy. And I play out the scenario like why I need it, when do I need it, how often do I need it, and how long do I need this item, how long do I need this item each time I use it, and the item's life expectancy and all that stuff. I question all that. And second, another thing is that I put everything together in everything together that I think I need in the virtual cart, and I just let it sit there for days, weeks, and yeah, even months. I do that too, and I just let them sit there. And oftentimes, when I revisit the cart, you know what? Some of the stuff I'm like, okay, I don't need this stuff. I just remove it. And then finally, if I really need it, I really need it, but I don't need it now. It's not in a rush. I wait till like it's on sale on a big day and I just buy things all together. Just a little idea. And also maybe start doing a budgeting. I think I'm doing budgeting in my mind. I don't write anything. I don't write anything down, but I do take a mental notes on everything I spend and buy everything. So maybe start doing budgeting. Just some ideas trying to help over here. But yeah, overall, I'm really worried. Um, Sometimes I just lie on my bed, stare at the ceiling, and I'm thinking about, how scared this whole thing can be and lead into, makes me, it leads me to the dilemma of thinking about having children. Like, what would I do if I do have it? Like, how would I afford, all that kind of stuff. There's so much. I'm just covering a little bit, a tiny portion of it. So yeah, this is all I have. Um, Please comment down below. Comment down below. How are you guys living? How do you get by monthly? Um, Especially the ones who have families and the multiple kids and everything. So I'm really curious, and I would like to find out. I would like to learn how are you guys living. But other than that, this is all I have, and thank you very much for watching, listening, um, and I'll see you in my future videos. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.